Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak and Robert Paris, John Vias with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Burlington Public Schools will require masks starting next week in all school buildings as the country sees an uptick in COVID-19 cases fueled by the Delta variant. In a letter to the community, Superintendent Conti said all people will need to wear masks while indoors and not eating or working by themselves. Effective August 9th, all students, staff, and visitors, regardless of vaccination status, must wear masks indoors while in any Burlington Public Schools facilities. Face masks are not required when outside or when an individual works alone or in a segregated space. Superintendent Conti said that despite the need for masks and the continuous difficulties with the pandemic, administrators and teachers are happy that school will return in full this year. Conti added that he is aware that some people are unhappy with further restrictions in response to the situation, but said the safety of everyone in the school community is his top priority. In related news, health officials in Massachusetts are adopting guidance from the federal government and encouraging everyone, even the fully vaccinated, to go back to wearing masks in some situations. Last Friday, the Department of Public Health released updated guidance regarding the use of face coverings and cloth masks by individuals who are fully vaccinated for COVID-19. According to Mass DPH, in light of the information provided by the CDC, and in order to maximize protection of vulnerable individuals from the Delta variant, the Department of Public Health released updated guidance today that recommends that a fully vaccinated person wear a mask or face covering when indoors if you have a weakened immune system, or if you are at increased risk for severe disease because of your age or underlying medical condition, or if someone in your household has a weakened immune system, is at increased risk for severe disease, or is unvaccinated. So how are the local vaccination numbers? As we can see in the August 5 vaccination report from the Mass DPH, it shows Burlington is mostly in line with other communities in the area. In total, Middlesex County, 67% of residents over 12 years old and thus eligible for the vaccination have received both doses. In Burlington, a total of 65% of all eligible people have been vaccinated. Slightly more than half of the youngest group, 12 to 15-year-olds, have also received shots. Burlington's annual Safety Night returned to the Wegmans parking garage this year, giving residents a chance to meet with first responders, check out police and fire vehicles, and have more fun in a relaxed atmosphere. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford has this report.
Burlington Safety Night returned in a big way this past Wednesday evening. Like most things, the annual event was canceled last year due to the pandemic, but this year it was definitely a success, with even larger crowds coming to the Wegmans parking garage to meet first responders, check out safety equipment, pet the many service dogs and police canines, listen to some music, and enjoy a free hot dog from the host. Organizers said they were very pleased with the turnout.
Well, Richard, the event just started a few minutes ago, and as you can see, the garage is already packed. There's a lot of people here. Thank God it's outside. So we don't have to worry about too many of the current concerns, but it's very well attended both by law enforcement, fire, and by the residents.
A fantastic turnout once again. You know, I believe this is our 6th year that we've done this with Wegmans, and you know, obviously we missed it last year with COVID, so we're real excited about coming back here this year.
Safety Night is a fun event for people of all ages and a chance for first responders to meet with the public.
You know, a lot of times the parents bring the children to see the equipment, but you know, it's the parents that ask us a lot of questions about how we operate. So it just gives police, fire another opportunity to tell the general public what we really do. So.
Well, I think that's, I've said it millions of times, this is the favorite part of our job, where we can come out and interact with people, and it's all positive. When I got here a little bit before 5 o'clock, there were double the amount of people here, and I think people are excited to get out and actually mingle again and be able to talk face to face, and it's certainly, we appreciate the support.
Perhaps the most important aspect of Safety Night is letting people, especially children, meet first responders in a relaxed atmosphere so that they won't be afraid if they encounter them during an emergency.
Most times when a citizen has a in interaction with a police officer or a firefighter, it's usually during a time of crisis. So they don't really get to know the person. They get to see the uniform and see how the person's reacting or what's going on. But this is a chance for them to meet the police and fire and EMTs on a personal level. So there's no stress. It's a good time. Everybody's having fun. Everybody's laughing. It's just a nice way to meet your public safety personnel without being in a crisis.
They've all come out. They all come out, show off our equipment, get to see us in a different light, in a nice light. Have a little fun, some good music, some hot dogs. Who could ask for anything more?
Well said, officer. From Burlington Safety Night at Wegmans, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
The Town of Burlington and the Board of Selectmen is looking for volunteers to serve on 2 newly created subcommittees. As reported by BNews, the board recently established a subcommittee to look further into the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a subcommittee to look at the topic of transportation within the town. Because of the wide-reaching implications of these topics, the administration is seeking 2 residents from the community to volunteer in each committee to serve as stakeholders along with members of department and community committees. These are ad hoc committees that will report back to the Select Board in 1 year's time. The mission of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Subcommittee is, in alignment with the Select Board's mission statement, it is the mission of the subcommittee to strive to recognize and celebrate the diversity of our community while ensuring that all people, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, education, disability, age, sexual orientation, or gender identity, and socioeconomic status, are respected and valued, because our differences do not divide us, but rather strengthen us. The charge of the subcommittee is to evaluate and develop framework for DEI subcommittee from which several strategic initiatives and actionable items can be developed and presented to the Select Board. The mission of the Transportation Subcommittee is to lead the development of integrated, efficient transportation systems through the creation of sustainable policies and regulations that support the Town of Burlington's strategic efforts as it relates to economic and social development. The charge of the subcommittee is to research current issues, concerns with transportation at key locations within Burlington, develop a strategic, multi-pronged plan that aims at addressing aforementioned issues. Said plan should be built in a phased approach, taking into account economic development, Burlington's master plan, and any Department of Transportation integration. Work with all necessary parties, stakeholders at local and state levels to achieve these outcomes. Anyone interested in applying to volunteer for either of these subcommittees can find the links to do so at our website at bcattv.org. After its initial target date of spring 2020 was delayed due to the pandemic, Shake Shack has now opened at the Burlington Mall. As reported by BNews, the New York-based fast casual restaurant first filed paperwork to occupy a space at the mall in the former Sears location in 2019. After being delayed, the restaurant opened to its customers on this past Monday. The restaurant was granted a beer and wine license in June. Shake Shack is a popular burger eatery known for its 100% all-natural Angus beef burgers, chicken sandwiches, beef hot dogs, fresh frozen custard, crinkle-cut fries, and much more, it release states. The fast casual hotspot will offer its fresh, simple, high-quality menu at a great value for the Burlington Mall community and beyond. The restaurant's Facebook page describes its journey from a hot dog cart to having multiple locations. Shake Shack sprouted from a hot dog cart in Madison Square Park in Manhattan to support the Madison Square Park Conservancy's first art installation, it reads. The cart was quite the success, with Shack fans lined up daily for 3 summers. In 2004, a permanent kiosk opened in the park. Shake Shack was born. Shake Shack has other locations in the area, including Woburn, Watertown, and multiple establishments in the Boston area. Fans of legal seafoods in the Burlington Mall will have to seek alternate locations for the foreseeable future. The restaurant posted on Facebook that they have temporarily closed due to undergo renovations as part of the overall makeover at the mall. While no specific date for reopening was set, they did say the renovations will take until this winter. However, they did suggest patrons can visit one of their nearby locations in Peabody or Linfield. The Burlington Mall has been undergoing vast changes in the last couple of years, including turning the former Sears store into an expansion of the mall corridor and creating the Village at the Burlington Mall in the former Sears Auto Center building. Several new retail stores are also preparing to bring their brands to the Burlington Mall over the next year, including Fabletics and Milton's, the store for men. Land's End plans to debut its only New England location at the Burlington Mall in 2022. Additional dining and retail destinations will be announced later this year. The latest enhancements are a continuation of the property's ongoing redevelopment and follows the debut of the Village at the Burlington Mall, which showcases a dozen new concepts ranging from personal and retail services and restaurants. Recent openings include Karma Asian Fusion Cuisine and Warby Parker. In the latest Eye on Nature, gardener Peter Coppola brings out his personal gardening tool bag to show some of the essentials to make your garden grow. Let's have a look.
I have my gardening bag, and this gardening bag contains everything I need when I'm out weeding or planting or what have you, and I keep it all in the bag so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the shed because I forgot a tool. First is the pruning shears, and I keep two of them. This is a bypass pruner, and bypass pruner, the blade passes by the anvil. You use a bypass pruner for pruning live wood. Dead wood should be pruned with an anvil pruner, and with that, the blade presses against the anvil and it pinches the dead wood. It actually cracks the dead wood. If you are doing things like annuals and you want to take cuttings, then you should have something smaller than those, and that's what these two bypass pruners are for. And this one especially, because it's so thin, you can get in between all the stems and branches and snip out the flower stem. In the bag itself, trowels. These are two different sizes. This is really for doing bulbs, so I don't carry it all the time. Usually it's in the fall when I'm planting bulbs. I do use this one constantly. This is considered one of the most abused tools because people use it to hack at roots when they're trying to dig out. They chomp, they beat it all up. So consequently, what the manufacturers did was put a saw edge. So instead of chopping like an axe, you can slice the roots. And also if you're planting bulbs, they gave you a little depth guide. This is a cultivator. This is just designed to loosen the soil. So when you are preparing, say, to fertilize and you want to loosen the soil, this is what you do to loosen the soil. This is a hand fork, as opposed to the long handle fork that we sometimes call a pitchfork. There's a difference. There's a pitchfork is for throwing hay onto the hay wagons. The long handle fork is for cultivating the soil, the planting bed before you plant. This is the hand version for when you get down on your hands and knees. And what I like about this, as well as loosening the soil, it has this nice edge on it. You can take it and just slide it across, and you break all those seedlings, you kill all those seedlings. So this is my favorite tool. Those are the main tools that I carry in my bag, but there are so many other things that you need when you're out in the garden. One is a scissors, just for cutting things. Another one is a ruler. If you don't have a planting stick, you should have something, a tape measure, anything, so that you can accurately measure the distance. Another one, taking notes, just for writing notes. What did I plant? When did I plant it? If you're going to have a notepad, you need pencils. Pencils are also good because when you plant something and you want to remember what you planted, you need tags. These tags are quality vinyl. They used to be a Venetian blind, mini blind, but I cut them up and I make tags, plant tags out of them. Soil testing, this was over the top. This is a 4-way soil tester, but you should have a moisture and pH meter. That tells you where your soil quality is. Your tools need to be sharpened. They need to be kept sharpened. What you don't want to do is be out in the yard working and finding out you're trying to prune and you're cutting and shearing the branches that you're trying to prune. The best thing to do is have a little sharpening stone in your bag. So it's a quick boom, 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 and then you're back up and running. And then the last thing is just a rag. You don't need to wipe your tool every single time you make a cutting. You don't need to sterilize the tool and everything else. This is just to wipe it to keep it from getting rusty. But it's a good thing to have. It's also quick to clean your hands. So that's what's in Peter's tool bag.
A BCAT show has hit a big milestone. In January of 2013, Arlene DeRocco retired from her long-running live BCAT talk show, Open for Discussion. Linda McNamee stepped into hosting duties for the Wednesday live 8 p.m. time slot with something to talk about. Last week, Linda taped the 200th episode of her program. The show has featured a variety of topics and guests from in and around Burlington. Her guests have included town leaders, local organizations, artists, authors, and animals. They didn't speak. The show has even recorded while accompanying the Something to Talk About 4th of July parade float, which has been part of the patriotic procession for several years now. McNamee started as a volunteer with BCAT in 2004. She has been a part of the BCAT Board of Directors since 2006 and became president in January of 2017. She always has her ear to the ground for new show topics. Something to Talk About airs live at 8 p.m. on BCAT Public Channel, Comcast 9, Verizon 39, and RCN 3 every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. The District Burlington was recently honored with a Gold Award from Building Impact, a nonprofit organization that promotes business goodwill in communities by providing volunteer and donation opportunities for workers that benefit local nonprofits and charities. In 2013, National Development purchased the property, formerly known as New England Executive Park, and transformed it into the District Burlington, a mixed-use business environment. National Development's partnership with Building Impact helps its tenants' charitable efforts throughout the Commonwealth. Building Impact recognizes different properties each year depending on the number of drives and charitable endeavors and the amount of volunteer participation from the tenant population. The district's recognition is for their efforts during 2020, a particularly challenging time for all of us. Angela Iannuzzi, property manager at the district, said they worked with Building Impact to encourage their tenants in virtual volunteer events and donation drives. The district's engagement during 2020 also included a virtual food drive, funding laptops for grads and holiday gift bags for veterans. The district participated in charitable efforts for years before the pandemic, holding the Pan Mass Challenge for Kids, More Than Words pop-up bookstore benefiting foster kids, Red Cross blood drives, donations to Boys and Girls Club of Greater Lowell, A Place to Turn, and finally House of Hope Incorporated. The district also hosted an event for young inventors called Guppy Tank, a middle school version of ABC's Shark Tank, as well as sponsoring many Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce events like their Black Tie Gala and The Taste. They've also contributed locally to the Burlington Education Foundation, the Leahy Cancer Institute 5K, and have made road and transportation improvements in Burlington. The Rotary Club of Burlington has honored a man who sacrificed for our country and has since worked to assist other wounded veterans. In a belated awards ceremony and installation of its 2020-21 board and officers, Rotary Club of Burlington President Roger Bell presented Dom Marcelino, President of Disabled and Limbless Veterans, with the award for 4 your years of outstanding service to the veterans community. Marcelino is a triple amputee. He lost 3 of his limbs in action in the Vietnam War. Disabled and Limbless Veterans is a group of veterans and civilian volunteers working together to help needy veterans and their families. The organization serves as the conduit between individual and corporate donors and those in need of services and support. We are a group of veterans and civilian volunteers providing meals, clothing, and shelter to America's most needy veterans and their families, the organization's website states. We are the conduit between individual and corporate donors and veterans and their families who need services and support. Our vision is to empower and improve the lives of veterans and their families by providing assistance and support. We seek to educate the community about the needs of veterans and the opportunities to meet these needs. We want veterans to know we care and hope to inspire others to care. We go now to John Vias, filling in for Peter Brown this week for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Hello and welcome to this week's weather report. John Vias here, filling in for Peter Brown, who was away this week. Let's check out that 7-day forecast for the week ahead, shall we? We start on Friday, which looks very promising. We'll expect some sunny skies with a high near 85 degrees. And Saturday will be a nice day to enjoy Celebrate Burlington, with partly sunny skies and a high near 88 degrees. We have a chance of showers on Sunday morning, but otherwise it should be partly sunny and a little cooler with a high of 82 degrees. Monday will be mostly sunny, with temperatures reaching 79 degrees. Tuesday will warm back up with sunny skies and a high of 85. Wednesday will get us back up close to 90, with mostly sunny skies and a high of 88. And finally, we get to Thursday, a near copy of Wednesday, with partly sunny skies and a high temp of 88 once again. And that's it for this week's BNEWS weather. I'm John Vias, saying as Peter Brown always does, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. Get ready for some magic. On Tuesday, the Burlington Public Library will be having an event called Ed the Wizard at the Town Common. Everyone is welcome. The event is free, but pre-registration is required. To register, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org. Come and learn about the history of the town of Burlington. On Saturday, August 14th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Burlington Historical Museum will be open to the public to tour. Everyone is welcome and the admission is free. Through August 31st, the Burlington Public Library will be having their monthly Story Walk at the Burlington Mall. This month's Story Walk is R.W. Alley. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Burlington Parks and Recreation had the 18th annual Rahanis Park Open tourney on Saturday, July 24. BNews Sports reporter Robert Paris went to check it out and has this report.
Hey everyone, I'm BNews Sports reporter Robert Paris. We're down here at Rahanis Park for the 18th annual Rahanis Park Open. Let's check it out and see what's going on in today's events. The tennis courts were packed with participants as they attended the Parks and Recreation's 18th annual Rahanis Park Open.
Now this year it's back to normal pretty much to 2019. It's a full tournament. I think we got about 55, 60 people playing this weekend, so that's a great turnout.
Scott was pleased to see everyone back together once again.
A lot of people haven't seen each other in a while, through social distancing the last year and a half or so. There's a lot of alumni coming out to play that we haven't seen in a while, so it'll be great to see everybody come back and have fun.
The event had a total of 60 participants for 2021, which was the biggest turnout since 2016.
I would say the turnout shows that tennis is a very popular sport. It's a sport everyone can enjoy their whole life. You're going to see people here, from ages 10 to about 75 playing today. So it's a sport everyone can enjoy.
From down here at Rahanis Park, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo is an homage to a longtime employee of the town. It was posted by Burlington Parks and Recreation Department and shows Nancy Santilli, an employee of the department who recently retired after 21 years of dedicated service. Congratulations on your retirement, Nancy, the department wrote on Facebook, wishing you the best of health, happiness, and success on your new journey in life. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your summer activities, a family trip, or just everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's it from the news desk here at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, John Vias, and Gretchen Carey. Thank you for joining us.